It's taking forever to share. Sorry, guys. We're almost there. Okay, we're good. All right, so we are reviewing the last chapter that we read in the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Hello, Ezekiel. I didn't see you there before. So this is the book that we're reading. Who in here read the chapter or at least read some of the chapter, the 7 Habits and Overview? Who read it? Good job, Kinsey. Good, Maya. Yeah, guys, remember, if you, the more you do as we go through this, the more you're going to get out of it, the more it's going to benefit you, the more you're going to learn from it. So with that oh my goodness, I just realized that I got on here on my studio computer and the PowerPoint is on my laptop. That was silly. So I'm going to switch computers really fast so I can share this with you guys, share the PowerPoint. There's not a whole lot to share today though, so since it is a review day, but I will switch that over. While I'm doing that though, I'll talk about some of the quick announcements. First, thank you to everybody who brought a buddy to class this week. Raise your hand if you brought a buddy. Good job, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, this is going to be weird, but this is what we're going to do. My next announcement, remember, we do not have mat chats on Fridays anymore. We don't have mat chats on Fridays. All right. Can you guys see me? We good? Well, remember, Michael, you guys can't unmute yourselves if you have 2 computers.
I have to exit off of my computer and then hop back on.
Okay, go ahead, bud. We're gonna keep going. All right, so as far as other announcements, we're not having mat chats on Fridays. We have a leaders seminar tomorrow at 5:15. So we are working on the cane. So get on Zoom with us tomorrow night at 5:15. We have a graduation party for Miss Jenny on May 30th. So I'm going to post a route, directions kind of driving by her house. So look out for that announcement. I'll send that out in an email and I'll send it out, put it on Facebook too. Mr. Sean made that for us last night. So you guys can make posters, decorate your car, just drive by and honk and say, congratulations, Miss Jenny, or whatever you guys want to do. Saturday the 30th at 12:30, she is graduating from Middleburg High School. We are opening up for our summer camp and for some more classes inside the studio. The studio will officially be open on June 1st. With that being said, I'm going to post that schedule by this weekend. I'm actually working on that most of today. Stuff is going to be limited. So we have enough spots on the mat to safely super separate everybody. I think we can fit 12 people here in the studio. So we still will have every single class we're going to have live. We're going to have virtual also. So our live class schedule will be really open and our virtual class schedule will be really open. Hopefully that will keep all of the classes, especially live in the studio, very small. So there's only a couple people in the studio at each time. We are going to ask parents to watch class from the car. They can get on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and watch it live from their car, since the classes are going to be streamed onto Zoom and YouTube like normal. So they can do that. Coming into the studio, we are going to require that you wear a mask. I think what we're going to do is require you to wear it in the building and not require you to work out wearing the mask. So once you get to your spot on the mats, you can take it off, do your class, get your workout in, put your mask back on and leave. I'm also going to, when I announce the schedule, I'm going to announce some of the safety requirements we're going to have. And one of those is going to be washing your hands as soon as you get into the studio. You're going to sanitize your mat after you're done with it. The instructors are taking a lot of steps to sanitize everything everywhere, constantly, in between classes, all of that kind of stuff. And so just look out for more information on that this week. We do, though, tonight we have a live class outside. So you're welcome to come to the studio and take class outside. That one's not limited for numbers. because we have so much space in our parking lot. Even with a lot of students, we can still practice social distancing. So that's going to be outside at 6:30 tonight, and then next week, Tuesday and Thursday also. And then the following week, June 1st, the studio will reopen. We do a black belt workout here. It's going to be outside for this Saturday. I think that's the last one, maybe 2 Saturdays before June 1st. No, so yeah, 2. So this Saturday and next Saturday, we'll have the black belt workout outside in the morning, 8 to 10 on Saturdays. And then it'll be probably in the studio after that. I think that's it for the class schedule. So like I said, just keep your eyes open for those announcements. All right, let me see if I can share my screen with you guys. Okay. What did I do? I did weird things with my Zoom today. All right, so I asked you guys to do a couple of homework assignments. While I figure this out, we will. I have this on 2 computers. Okay. So while I'm figuring this out, we'll start talking about the first one. So the homework assignments I asked you guys to do, one was to read the chapter. And then the 2 things I asked you to do were to, 1, write an example of a habit and explain what there are 3 parts to a habit. We said you have to have the knowledge, the skill, and the desire, right, to create a habit. Then the other homework assignment was to write an example, whether it's a good or bad example, of the PPC balance. So that's what we talked about, the story of the goose and the golden egg, and the product, and then the production control balance. So that's saying the P was the golden egg, and the PC was the goose. And obviously in that story, he did not have a good PPC balance because he was so focused on the egg that he ended up killing the goose, and no more golden eggs, right? Okay, so who wants to, and remember you guys do get a star for each of these. So who did the first one? If you don't have your book yet, Jaden, you can come in and pick that up. But who did the first one? Who wrote an example of one habit they want to create or that they have created, and noted the knowledge, the skill, and the desire on it? Who did that? Good, Miss Nicole. Go ahead, Miss Nicole.
Okay, so I'm hoping this is what you meant with the knowledge, skill, desire one. So I do a lot of cooking. And so the knowledge, I'm assuming, would be like the recipes, what ingredients, how many ingredients, how you put it together. The skill, of course, would be practicing that so often that you almost don't need the recipes anymore. And then the desire would be that I want to feed my family. So for instance, the other day I missed a CIT meeting. I nearly freaked out afterward when I realized it, because I'm so used to making sure I cook dinner for my family that it didn't even hit me. Oh yeah, there's something else I'm supposed to do.
That's perfect. Very good. Yeah, it's almost confusing. Once you understand it, you guys will get it. And that's why I wanted you to practice this. So good job, Miss Nicole. Very nice. Very good. That's a perfect example. All right. Who else did it? If not, do it right now. Because if I don't have a lot of people share, what we're going to do is go to every person and let every single person on here share. So go ahead and write it right now. I want everyone to do it. Take 1 minute. Write a habit, one habit that you want to create, or that you already have a habit. Miss Nicole's was something that she's already in a habit of doing, and that's perfect. Write down a habit that you have or that you want to create, and then write down, if you want, in order to make this a habit, what's the knowledge you need to have, the skill you need to have, and why do you desire to have that habit? Kinsey, did you want to share one?
Yes, ma'am. One habit that I would like to have is to work out daily. I would have to have the knowledge to know how to execute each exercise, and have the ability to do each exercise and want the outcome of doing each exercise.
Very good. Exactly. A lot of people do like going to group classes or things like that because they feel like they don't have that knowledge. But there is so much, especially for exercise and fitness, there is so much available out there if you just YouTube, you know, arm workouts, you can get a good arm workout for that day. And the next day you Google core workouts, you'll find a lot. There's a lot of information out there to develop that knowledge. And that's a very good habit to have. When you exercise daily, not only does your body feel better and it helps you physically, obviously it helps your self-confidence. You feel stronger, you feel like you look good, that kind of thing. But it also has mental benefits. Exercise has a lot of mental benefits. It releases chemicals in your brain. It does a lot of very, very good things for your mind, keeping your mind clear and sharp and focused, giving you energy. So many good benefits. That's a very good one. All right, who else did this? Miss Beatrice.
One habit that I wrote down it's one that I already have. It's studying like weeks before a test. The knowledge, so basically the information in class that I take notes and do all that stuff. The skill would be taking notes and having time management to like set specific times to when I need to study. And then the desire is having good grades, getting all A's, keeping my GPA up.
Good, very good. You know, when we talked the last gold meeting that I did on goal setting, we talked about Brian Tracy's book, Focal Point. And I love talking about that. Like, there's one concept for them. Basically, the whole book is finding your focus, finding your focal point, finding what's important to you, where you need to focus your energy. And habits are a good example of that. When I talked about that book, one thing that I said a lot is you have to really want a goal in order to achieve it. You're never going to achieve a goal if you don't really want it. Like Miss Nicole said, feeding her family. What's going to happen if she doesn't feed anyone in her family? They're all going to starve. They're all going to go hungry, right? That's something that she does not want to happen. So the desire is really there. And academics is one you really have to think about it long term. Because if I look at it today, like, oh, I don't really want to do my virtual schoolwork. It sounds boring and it's just one little grade, not a big deal, right? But if I'm thinking about, my goal is to be a doctor and I want to go to Harvard and I have to have straight A's and I need this fundamental education in order to get that education later. So when you find what your desire is and you focus on that, even with school or with whatever it is, that desire is really important. You have to make sure you really want it. So things that you know you should do because they're good for you, things like going to school, things like karate, things like exercise. Sometimes it takes a little bit of thinking to figure out what the desire piece of that is. So good job, Beatrice. All right, Cora.
One habit that I want to set is going outside and working out or juggling, which is something we do in soccer, for 20 to 30 minutes. And juggling takes a lot of skill because it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination or foot-eye coordination.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill. You already have the knowledge because you know how to do it. It just takes more practice to get better at it and develop the skill. But I guess the biggest thing that you would need then, the biggest piece you might be missing is you might want to do it, but maybe reminding yourself why you want to do it and getting that desire piece there a little bit stronger. So, thinking about what being good at juggling or getting that exercise really is going to benefit you. That'll help you create that habit. Good job, Cora. All right, Mackenzie.
A habit I want to get into is having a better imagination, and this can help me be able to entertain myself during quarantine.
Yeah, definitely. So you have the skill. What about the knowledge? Do you have the knowledge you need to be more creative?
The knowledge I need to be more creative is to learn how to be more
That's kind of a hard one.
if I can imagine something and see and believe it, then it'll be really easy to use my imagination.
Good, good. And that's something, reading a lot of fantasy books or sci-fi books, or not even, you could
Just
read
reading in general.
reading, yeah, watching movies. But reading is a big one to help with your creativity. Good. Okay. Lane, did you have your hand up? I don't want to miss you if you did. I don't think you did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Two goals that I have is to do my homework faster and to get A's or ACs.
Good. Those are both very good goals. Very good. So what is the knowledge you need? Pick one of those and tell me what the knowledge, the skill, and the desire are.
I'm gonna do the first one. My first one, it is to actually focus more and see if I get it, and if I don't, I can move on to a different one. And then once I'm not figuring it out, I can ask my mom whenever I'm done with the rest of my work.
Okay, so getting some help finding that knowledge. Good. Good job, Lane. All right, Mr. Braden.
One of my habits is practice push-ups.
That's a good one. And do you have the knowledge of how to do a push-up?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you want to be able to do the 50 push-ups that you need to for your black belt test?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good desire, knowing that you need to be able to do it for your black belt test, right? And so then the biggest thing that you have to work on is that skill, being able to do 50 of those, right? Good job, Braden. Okay, Miss Maya.
So one habit that I want to create is speaking fluent Spanish. So the knowledge of that would be the basic foundation of the language. How to translate like the basic English words to Spanish. And then the skill is just practicing speaking the language, every day or someday. And the ability to do it clearly. And then the desire is, the benefit of being bilingual, speaking two languages, because you get a better, salary for your job if you speak two languages.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a huge benefit to have anywhere you go in life, even just like personally for traveling. It's, it's nice to be able to communicate. There's so many Spanish speaking countries, or going on the international black belt classes. You can understand what the other instructors are saying. Me and Miss Maya did an international black belt class. They actually asked me to teach a segment last weekend, and there were a lot of instructors from Argentina. So a lot of the sessions were in Spanish, and me and Miss Maya both speak very basic Spanish. She speaks more than I do. And so we were like, I heard head, I heard cabeza. So we're like trying to translate the little words we heard, but it was fun. That's a good one though, Maya. Very nice. All right, Miss Kathy.
Sorry, had to unmute myself. So my is similar to what someone else said about study habits. So I have some teacher exams that are coming up, and I'm kind of out of practice for studying for big exams these days. So I have to get back into the habit of kind of prepping myself to study for some exams. So, the knowledge is, I have the knowledge, but it's just, reviewing and having to create those study habits of going back and setting aside the time and, taking notes as I'm going through the books. And of course, the desire then is to pass the exams because it's part of my requirements for certification.
Very good. Good, Miss Kathy. All right, Miss Abby, what is the habit you want to create?
I have 3 of them, ma'am.
Okay, why don't you tell me one, and then we could talk about the three aspects of it, okay?
Watching cats.
Oh, watching the super cute cats you have at your house now. I fostered kittens and Abby adopted some of them. Okay, so with watching your cats, being in a habit of watching them, do you know how to act around cats and how to treat them?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the knowledge. And then the skill, you've been playing with them and practicing being gentle and being nice to them, right? So you're creating that skill.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure you have the desire because they're super fun to play with, right?
And we lost one of them today.
It got lost. Did you find it?
Yes, it was Naveen.
That's funny. All right, good job, Abby. Okay, does anybody else have a habit they wanted to share? Miss Sophia.
Drinking more water, ma'am.
Drinking more water. That's a really, really good one. Okay, so the knowledge, I mean, everyone knows how to drink water. The skill, what would you say is a skill for that?
Probably good wrist motion.
Yeah, good wrist motion. I think too, even like this is my water jug. This is how I make myself drink a lot of water. And so my goal is to drink 2 of these a day, which is kind of my minimum. But something like that absolutely helps with that. And the desire, there's so many benefits to drinking water for your health, for your skin, for the way that you feel, right? So there's definitely a good desire there too. Good job, Sophia. And welcome to Matt Chats. I'm glad you're here. All right,
Yes,
I think that was it. Does anybody else have a habit they wanted to share? Okay, good job, you guys. Very good input. I love it. I love it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to the next one. The next homework assignment was an example of a PPC balance. Before I do this, I kind of just want to talk about something really quick. So we talked about this yesterday in the chapter that the author said he wanted you to read this like you're going to teach it. And that's what you guys are doing right now. So yes, you heard me talk about these habits, but you actually putting it in writing and explaining the differences between the 3 pieces of it and then sharing that with everybody, that's huge. And that creates so much more of an understanding. So that's why I want you guys to do this so much. So when we're talking about the PPC balance, it's not just because I learn when you guys share it, but it's because that's how you guys develop a deeper understanding of these concepts. So who wrote down or who can give me an example of a PPC balance? Miss Nicole.
Okay, I thought of a historical one for us.
Okay.
So the British Empire, England, had gazillions of ships that they would send out all over the place for exploration and trade and blah, blah, blah. The problem you discover over time, because these soldiers or sailors, I should say, are eating called hardtack, these really super hard biscuits they would have forever, and then dry salted meat and rum. So you can imagine what kind of diet that is. It's horrific, right? So the problem is if you don't eat vitamin C, consume vitamin C as humans, you end up, your body develops rickets and it's horrific. You're in constant pain. You can't move very well. Your joints are just, it's real bad. So they figured out, how can we fix this problem of our sailors? They can't do their job if their body can't handle all that, the loss of vitamin C. So they started having potted lime trees on their ships so that the sailors would have lime juice every day with their rum. And it, of course, cured their rickets over time. I would say the British Empire figured out a way to make their soldiers more productive simply by adding something to their diet. If that made sense.
Thank you. Okay, that was a really good one. So let's think about that. The P is the product. So whatever these sailors are supposed to be doing, the outcome, right? But the PC is the sailors and their health and their nutrition. And if they all get really, really sick, they can't produce anything. They can't get any work done. That's a perfect example of it. Good job. Thank you, Miss Nicole. You got 2 stars already today. All right, Beatrice, go ahead.
For my PC, for my P and PC balance, I put as the P a black belt. That's the desired result. And then for PC, I put training, practicing, asking for help when you need it, just going to classes and taking it seriously. And then also coming to these meetings, learning about what it means to become a black belt, and when you put that into action, you get your your desired result.
I love that. That was awesome. I don't know why I didn't even think about that. That was such a good one. Yeah, clap for her. That's a really good one. That's so spot on too. Your product is your black belt. All of you guys raise your hand if you have your goal set for black belt, or if you are a black belt for 2nd degree or 3rd degree or whatever it is. Good. So that's the product. That's the end goal. That's the end result, that kind of thing. But we want to be focused on that goal. We want to keep that goal in mind. We don't want to completely forget about the P. You have to have a good balance. You have to keep in mind your end goal if you want to achieve it. But we can't forget that that means that today I need to train on my green belt material, or I need to train on my red belt material, or I need to better myself mentally and physically by coming to mat chats, reading the books, sharing, and building my knowledge and sharing knowledge with others, because that's how you become a black belt. You don't just put in the classes and wear the belt. You literally become a black belt in every area. So you absolutely have to have a really good balance of PPC. And you see that sometimes people get focused on just testing for their next belt and just learning that curriculum. And we talked about this in an instructors meeting recently. We have a few students who every once in a while we see it. Student gets too focused on the product and isn't thinking about the PC. And so what they do is they get just the stuff to test for their belt, just the curriculum, and they're not bettering their technique. So even just physically on the martial arts aspect of it, you have to be focused on being a black belt and actually submerging yourself in the training right now, the PC of it, and getting better, because just learning the technique isn't enough. Once you get to red belt, if you don't have the skill, you're not going to move forward toward black belt. So very good, Beatrice. I love that one. All right, Miss Maya.
So my P, I said fluent Spanish, and for PC would be practicing and speaking the language.
Very good. And you know what else with that one? That's a good one too. When you are so concerned with, okay, I took Spanish in high school, 2 years of Spanish in high school, and then I took 2 semesters in college. I had one teacher who taught the material really well. And then I had another teacher. And so we would, we'd read it in textbook, we'd learn it on flashcards, we would take written tests, that kind of thing. My professor in college, though, all of our exams, all of our grades were us speaking it. And he would have us go to lunches at Mexican restaurants, and the entire time, no one was allowed to speak English. And so putting it into practice and kind of having that idea, like focus on the outcome. The outcome isn't just learning the textbook, but the product is being able to actually speak Spanish. And you see that with people who do speak Spanish at the end of that semester. Down and down, because I've that PPC balance. I don't practice it enough. So that's a good one. Okay. Who else has one? Abby, you can go ahead and mute yourself.
Eating trash food.
Eating trash food is what is
Junk
that?
food.
That would be
Candy.
Okay, so here we go. So why do you not want to eat junk food?
Because it's not healthy for you.
Good. Okay, so your P, your product, would be having good health. Your PC would be eating healthy foods, right? So, or vice versa, your PC would be eating junk food, and then your P would be having cavities or being sick or things like that. Very good, Abby. All right, Miss Destiny.
Mine was vacuuming the living room.
Okay, and what's the P?
The P is the vacuum, because without the vacuum, you cannot vacuum the living room, and the living room is the PC.
Very good. Right now, here's a perfect example. My house, my vacuum hose is clogged. I have a lot of static going on. Okay, my vacuum hose is clogged. So I can't vacuum anything in my house right now. The last time I vacuumed on Monday, it got clogged. So today I have to go unclog it. But that's taking care of the production capability, right? I have to make sure my vacuum is working and I'm taking care of it and maintaining it so that I can vacuum eventually. Very good. Good job, Destiny. All right, Landon.
My P is dark chocolate. My PC is cocoa beans.
That's a good one. Actually, it is, because chocolate is the product, right? Think about it as a farmer, somebody who's farming cocoa beans. They have to, well, let's talk about this first. Someone who's making chocolate, they have to have the cocoa beans. So they need to find someone who is taking care of the plants to grow the cocoa beans. If you focus so much on producing the chocolate and ignored growing the cocoa beans, what's going to happen? You're going to run out of cocoa beans and you're not going to be able to make any chocolate, right? So you have to have a good PC balance. Very good. There's so many examples of this, guys, everywhere you look. All right, who else has one they want to share? Miss Kathy.
So mine goes back to certification. To get my certification, I need to do my portfolio. I needed to get a master's degree or take so many courses in education, and I need to take my tests, and I need to constantly refine my teaching. So all of that goes into, kind of becoming a master teacher and so kind of follows the same track as the black belt.
Very good, Miss Kathy. All right, and I think it's the last one, Miss Kinsey.
I'm not sure if I worded this right, but like if someone trains themselves to run an 8-minute mile and then they stop training because they reach their goal, and the P would be the 8-minute mile and the PC would be training yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly where I would put it too. The P, the product of being able to run that 8-minute mile, the PC would be the training for it, the production capability, being able to run that. Because if you started eating junk food, it didn't take care of that, you weren't focused on the training part of it, taking care of yourself with continuous training, maintaining your health. If you get an injury, any of those kinds of things, that would be the PC. Good, very good. Okay, so everyone who shared is going to get a star or 2 stars if you shared 2. So good job, good job. Okay, who else has stars? I know we did not do stars yesterday because we ran out of time, unfortunately. Who has character building sheets to turn in? Let's do those really quick. Miss Kathy, how many do you have?
I have 19.
19, so you have 21 stars today because you shared 2 things. Very good, very nice. Good job, Kathy.
Do you want the list or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have character building sheets 1 through 5. Actually 1 through 6, with 6 being the 7-star one.
Okay.
And then I have character building number 1 companion sheet, which is a 2-star. And then I have book club sheet, healthy eating, self-discipline, and karate homework.
Very good, Miss Kathy. Very nice. All right, Jaden Davis, how many do you have?
Okay.
Landon, all of you go next.
I have 10. I have character building sheet 3, character building sheet 4, and character building sheet 5. And I finished the character building sheet 6.
Very good. Good job, Jaden. I love it, guys. I love it. I love it. Okay, Landon, go ahead, and then Beatrice.
Master Luton?
Yes.
May I interrupt for 1 second? I just want to congratulate Connor, who won the sword last night. I've got to get off and get on the other.
Congratulations, Connor.
Connor won the book, and I don't know if he's on, but we did the raffle, and he got it. So congratulations, Connor.
Woo-hoo. Yes, Connor, come in and pick up your Boken, okay? Your wooden sword. Very nice. All right, Landon, how many stars did you have?
3.
3, good. And then you shared today, so you have 4. Very good. Which ones do you have, bud?
The healthy eating and the character building companion sheet number 1.
Very nice. Good job, Landon. All right, Miss Beatrice, and then Miss Becky.
I have the character building sheet
Actually, I always put yes.
review for the chapter.
Good job. Just the one, right?
Just the one.
Good. And then you shared today, so you have 3 stars. Landon, please go ahead and mute yourself, bud. Good job, Beatrice. All right, I think Miss, who else has some? Raise your hand, hold them up if you have some character building sheets. Miss Becky, I think, is the last one. Go ahead, Miss Becky.
So I am, Miss Katie wanted me to tell you she has 18 today. Since she couldn't be on, she asked me to tell you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll get hers checked in. Miss Katie is checking in for a surgery today, guys. So keep her in your thoughts. Miss Katie is having a heart surgery done. So we won't see her teaching as much, but she'll still be, or training as hard, but you'll see her still around the studio. So her surgery is tomorrow, just so you guys know about it. She's a tough cookie though. It's going to be fine. Okay. Thank you, Miss Becky. All right. Any other stars that I missed? Okay. All right. Well, good job, guys. So many stars to check in today. I love it. I love seeing that. Go ahead and read over. You can read over the intros if you want. On Monday, we are going to start the first habit. We're finally getting into them. Yay, yay, yay. So habit number 1 is be proactive. So if you have some time over the weekend, read through this chapter. Like, look at the pictures. Do whatever you want to do, but get yourself slightly familiar with it. So when we started on Monday, you can engage in the conversation with us. Okay. All right. Good job, you guys. I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see anyone in Leaders on Leaders tomorrow. We have the live class today at 6:30 out in the parking lot, Saturday morning black belt workout. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.